welcome to Lovely Day Knits. I'm Alicia, a knitter from Coffs Harbour, Australia, and on this channel we chat all things knitting. There's plenty of knitting podcasts, vlogs and inspiration. Today I'm knitting up the Freyr Sweater by Knitting Traditions, and I just had to jump in before the video actually starts to say that I recorded this about 2+ months ago, and so things look very different around our house. I just thought I'd let you know in case you're a bit confused as to why everything looks so different. But without further ado, let's get into the cozy vlog. Hello and welcome to Lovely Day Knits. I'm Alicia and here we chat all things knitting. It is the middle of winter here in Australia and I am outside in my cumulus tee because the sun has been shining today and it's actually kind of warm out here, which is really nice. It's like a nice spring or an autumn day. Today is so exciting because I am knitting, well, I'm actually test knitting the Freyr Sweater by Knitting Traditions. Whenever it comes to pronouncing names of garments, I always seem to struggle because I have obviously a very Australian accent and most of the designers seem to be overseas and have different accents and pronounce their words differently, therefore their titles of their sweaters differently. So apparently an Australian accent just doesn't really cater to those words. So I really just want to say Freyr, but I think it's pronounced more like Freyr. So we're just gonna go with Freyr, because that's what my Australian accent can do. So it is such a beautiful, simple garment, but it's got these gorgeous cables from like the waist down, and they also run on the raglan seam as well. Absolutely stunning. So I just could not believe that I was chosen for a test knit. That's like the wildest thing. The wool that I chose for this, there was a few different wool options. She said you can pretty much use any wool that you want as long as you meet gauge. So I was tossing up between a DK or a lace weight held double. So I chose the lace weight held double because I wanted a nice beige sweater, and I found the Drops Kid Silk mohair was on sale, and so I got some balls of that, the amount that I needed, but I didn't want it all in mohair. I have the Ruos blouse in that and I love it, but I just didn't want like a whole sweater in it, so I thought I'd hold it with like a less fluffy lace weight. So I found this Isgar alpaca. It's really soft and it's really, really lovely, but I thought I ordered, well, online it looked beige. It looked like this beautiful beige online. And so I was really excited because I was like, oh, this is gonna pair perfectly with the mohair that I ordered from this other website. And when it came, it's pink. It's very pink. It's like a pinky purple. It's nowhere near beige. I showed my husband the photo online and I was like, okay, what color do you think this is? And he's like, oh, it's beige. I was like, that's what I thought. But no, it's pink. It's very pink. It's pink. And that's not what I wanted. So I had a little bit of a freak out moment when it arrived because obviously it didn't go with the beige mohair. I tried it together because I was desperate. I'd only ordered 3 balls of this and it looked horrible with the mohair. It was more like a grey toned beige as well. So it just looked horrible. So I scrapped that idea. I had already waited like a few weeks for the yarn to come in and I didn't want to wait any longer. This one I could get in from Australia and it was like express shipped as well. But when I went back on to get 3 more balls of this, they were out of stock. So I had to go online and like try and find another Australian store that could express ship because I just really needed to get stuck into this test knit. Sorry, that sun got super bright, so I just had to change my camera settings. I got 3 balls from Sunspun Australia and 3 balls from the little yarn store. I'll have them linked below in case you're interested. They shipped the next day and they were both here within like 3 days. So absolutely awesome. So the cool thing about this sweater is there are a couple of different options within the pattern too. So you can customize it to what you want. So you can choose between a regular crew neck length, a mock neck or a longer turtleneck. And then you can either choose a tapered body fit or a straight body fit. She's got options for either a cinch cuffed or a straight cuff as well. So it's like super versatile. So I did some swatches up yesterday. The 4.5mm wasn't giving me the gauge that I needed, and so I went up to a 5mm needle and I got 21 stitches with all my stitch gauge and everything correct. Now I get to cast on.
Down the center and drop the thumb and tighten it and go back. So between both, down the thumb, down the index towards yourself.
So I'm trying a new cast on method, which is super interesting. It's the old Norwegian cast on method. It's similar to the long tail cast on, but apparently it's a bit more stretchy. It's actually becoming a really neat edge, but it is a little bit more complicated than the long tail cast on or a regular cast on. So it's taking a little bit to wrap my brain around it, but I am getting there. And I think I'm going to be doing this in the future because it's producing this really lovely, neat little edge thing here. New skill unlocked, I suppose. Okay, it is definitely taking a little bit to get used to this. You go around. I'll have to watch the tutorial a few more times. Oh my goodness, this is like magic. This is so cool. Thought I'd mention I'm also going to be timing this one as well, just purely because I'm curious as to how long it takes me to knit each item, and I think it's like a helpful gauge for people to kind of like see how long it actually takes to knit things. I'm always curious about how long it takes for people to knit things. I'm a pretty slow knitter, I'd say. I am getting quicker the more I do it though, so we'll see. In the round I'm fairly okay, but yeah, I'm a bit of a slower knitter. I also love that I can match my app color with my yarn color here, because you can choose what color you want with this app. So that was just a little bit of a satisfying thing for me. I did enjoy the old Norwegian cast on actually. That was the first time doing it, and it took a little bit to like find a rhythm, but then as soon as I found it I was like, oh, this is just as easy as a long tail cast on. But it does make this really, really nice edge. I'll be curious to see what it's like when it's all kind of knitted up, to see what that edge will be like. But it was a really fun one actually, so I think I'm going to be doing a lot more of that cast on method in the future. Now let's get into the actual sweater. So there are small cables in this pattern, and you can either do them with a cable needle like you normally would, but she's got a tutorial on how to do these cables without the needle. I tried the first couple with the cable needle. It was just like doing cables, nice and easy, a little bit time consuming though. But I just watched her tutorial on how to do her cables without the cable needle, and it is so much quicker and actually super fun to do it like that too. You knit into like the second stitch and then the first stitch and then like pull them off. Anyways, if you get the pattern, there's like links to the tutorials and everything. One thing that I am really loving about this pattern is that there's links to tutorials for like all of the techniques that she suggests. So there's tutorials for like even the make one right, make one left, and there's tutorials for the different cast on methods that she's got throughout. So it's just a super thorough pattern, and I've only just gotten up to the beginning and already I'm so impressed by this pattern and how well written it is. Some patterns I like get super confused reading them, and then you have to read them a bunch of times, but this one is just laid out perfectly. It's just really well written, so highly recommend already. But if you do end up picking up this pattern, I do recommend doing it without the cable needle, but give it a try and see what you like. But it does seem a lot quicker and a lot more efficient if you don't use the cable needle. So one thing I thought I should mention is I am doing the straight version of the sweater and not the tapered version, and I'm doing the crew neck as well instead of the turtleneck or mock neck. I'm not a massive fan of like turtlenecks or mock necks, but I love crew necks and V-necks. They're my favorite. So it is the next day, and last night or yesterday I got about 4 hours done of the sweater, and it's looking really good so far. So it's about like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've gotten another 2.5 hours done today. So here's where we're up to. So I've gotten about that much done. It's on a circular needle, so it's super hard to kind of see. But I am loving it. It's coming up really, really lovely. I'm really glad about this shade of pink as well. Like, I'm kind of glad that it didn't come in beige. Pink is really working. We're doing it, and it's coming up really, really nice. I think this is going to be the perfect spring color actually. Now I'm up to 6.5 hours on this, and it's just coming up beautifully. And might I just say, I know this is just the test knit version of the pattern, but it is one of the most well-written patterns I have knitted up. It is just so thorough, and there's like video tutorials for like everything, and she just explains it really well, and it's well written out, and it just seems really well thought out, and like it hasn't been rushed or anything. It's just a really well written pattern, and I'm really enjoying the way that it's written out. But the cables on this are looking so beautiful. Let me show you this up close. It's a little bit tricky to see on this wool. It's not coming up like as defined as like her ones are on the wool that everyone else is kind of doing it up on. But this wool is definitely showing it up, just not quite as strong. I just love these cables. They're just so unique, I think, and they are so much fun to do. I really like getting up to the section where there's the cables on the raglan. I'm really enjoying this pattern. It is so fun so far, and I'm excited just to get to the bottom of the body where it's just like mainly cables, because they are just so much fun to do, and I'm really enjoying them. Yeah, I'm not sure how long this one is going to take me, but so far I think I'm tracking all right for 6.5 hours. Yeah, just gonna knit away for the afternoon and yeah, see how far we can get. So I got a few hours of knitting done early this morning. I'm now up to 12 hours of knitting, and I thought I'd give you a little update. These are on a stitch holder cord, so it's a bit easier to see. I might give you a bit of a try on. So here is where we're up to. So I think I'm just about to cast on for the sleeves, but it's coming up really beautifully, and it's like feeling nice against my skin too. So I was a little bit worried about this wool being a bit too itchy, scratchy, because it's a bit rougher, but it actually feels really good on the skin when it's just like placed there. So thank goodness. That is great. Yeah, loving the color, loving the design. The cables are like my favorite thing ever. Like, they just look so good, and I think it's gonna fit pretty well. So this is the size 2, and yeah, I have a 90 centimeter bust circumference if you need that for reference. I got all my cleaning done. Well, most of it. Enough. It's never enough cleaning, but I got most of it done, and now I am thoroughly exhausted. So I am going to just get a giant chunk of knitting done. I'm so stoked with it. I'm so excited to wear it already. I'm a process knitter. I love the process of knitting, but I'm also a finished garment knitter as well. Like, I loved the garment, so I'm always in between, like, just wanting to get it done so I can wear it, but then I immediately cast on a next project because I want to keep knitting because I love knitting. So it's really fun, but I'm just going to knit on this for the rest of the afternoon and see how much I can get done. Hopefully I can get a fair chunk done. We'll see how we go. I'm so excited to see this all knit up. So I've just made my first mistake, which is, I mean, pretty good up until this point, but I've gotten to a tech point, and there's supposed to be a certain amount of stitches for like the sleeves and then the back and front, and I was like a few out in like half of mine. The front and one of the sleeves was out, and then the other ones were fine, and I was like, what on earth is going on? So I've just been counting and going back and forth, and then I undid an entire row because I think I just have missed doing a few increases in one of the rounds, and so yeah, now I've got to recount and go back and make sure that I've got it all correct, and I'm hoping I don't have to undo any more rows than just one. So fingers crossed. It's a little frustrating when that happens, but at least there's the checkpoints. There is actually a lot of checkpoints in this pattern too, which I absolutely love, but I've made a mistake, so I'm gonna go and try and fix that. Yay. So it was just my last row. I just, for some reason, forgot to increase, like for the front and for one of the sleeves. So I've sorted it all out. I've now got the correct amount of stitches that I need. So now I'm going to continue on knitting. I'm splitting for sleeves now, so that's super exciting. When I get to try it on, I'll actually be able to put my arms through it. I'm so excited. Okay, let's get knitting again. It's the next day. I was out at a river this morning, right next to the ocean. It was absolutely beautiful. I was out there just for about 20 minutes. Had an appointment kind of around the corner, so I thought I would just duck in there. But I am up to here, so made a bit more progress. I absolutely love these cables that run down the side of the body here. Obsessed with them. But yes, making lots of good progress. I'm now up to the cable section on the body. So from like here down, it'll just be cables. So I'm up to that now, but I think I'm going to do the collar next because I don't really get on sleeve islands. Like I know a lot of people get to the second sleeve or like hate doing sleeves, but I actually really like doing sleeves. I don't like doing collars. I've decided I just don't enjoy doing collars for some reason. I feel like they're pretty quick. They're probably the quickest section on a jumper, but I just don't really enjoy them. So I think I'm going to get that over and done with, out of the way. I'm only doing a crew neck, so I don't think it'll take very long at all, but maybe it's just like the picking up of stitches. I don't know, something about collars I just don't enjoy. The rest of the day, I'm just going to knit and focus on getting the collar done. And then maybe I can get up to the body and do the cable section at the body, which will be a bunch of fun. It's day 4, so technically I might be able to get it done in a week. We'll see. I literally have no rush, but I'm just curious to see if I can get it done in a week or not. We will see. Time will tell if I can or not. Editing all morning. I've been editing a podcast. Hey buddy, Maui's come to join us. And I need a bit of a break. I've been doing it for about 3 or 4 hours now. Now I can't have a break because he's on my lap. This is what always happens. I go to get up and then he instantly jumps on my lap and now I can't move. I can't even go get my knitting because he's too cute. Last night I had a bit of an issue. I made a few mistakes and one row took me over an hour to do because I had somewhere in that row like dropped a stitch and I can move again. I had dropped a stitch and I could not for the life of me find where that stitch was dropped. Like because of all the cables, because they cross over and it's lace yarn, I just couldn't for the life of me find the drop stitch. So I spent an hour on probably over an hour actually on one row, just trying to find that stitch and trying to fix it because the whole cable row was out because of that one stitch. So that was fun. And then I also did it on the next cable row as well. So yay! Needless to say, last night was a little bit frustrating, but that was my own fault because I probably wasn't paying attention enough to each of my stitches. But in saying that, the cables have been so much fun. I'll do a try on for you in a second, but I'm up to the cables in the body. I did the collar last night too, and the collar was fun. It didn't actually take too long and I really like the look of it because it's just the crew neck. But I did the Rook bind off, which I've done many times before and it's my new favorite bind off. But for some reason, I don't know if it's the lace weight that I used or if I just like pulled it too tight, but I could barely get it over my head. And normally that bind off is pretty stretchy. So I think it might just be the yarn that I'm using. Doesn't take very well to that bind off or something. So I can get it over my head, but like just. And I didn't want to undo it and redo it again because I think in blocking it might relax a little bit and then it might be a little bit easy to take on and off over my head. But yeah, that was a little bit annoying. But I'm just going to leave it as is and, you know, if I need to redo it later on, I'll redo it. So this is what I'm up to. I've done 23 hours now. And yeah, it is coming along really well. I've only got probably like a centimetre or two worth of cables here that I've started. But the underarms, like the cables down here along the side of the body are looking so good. I absolutely love them. And I'm really liking this as like kind of a t-shirt vibe too. So I think that I'm going to make a t-shirt out of this one as well. And this yarn is actually making up really nice t-shirt fabric. I wasn't keen on holding it double, but the more I knit it, the more I'm like, oh, I actually really like this as a t-shirt kind of feel. I like the collar, but yes, it is like a bit tight to get off my head, but it fits really nice around here. So I'm a little bit hesitant to unpull it as well because it fits so good and I don't want it stretching out too much. I can get it on and off at the moment. It's just like a little bit of a squeeze, but I think I'm going to keep it like that. I've got like probably like that much to go of the cabling and then I get to bind off and then start on the sleeves. So it's exciting. Finished the body. I'm so excited. Last night I got a fair chunk of the cables done and then this morning I was able to bind off. So I am officially done with the body and I could not be happier. The fit is just immaculate. I love the fit of it. I know it's going to grow a little bit in blocking, but it's just looking... I actually love where it's cropped at the moment because I love all my shirts cropped, but I know it'll grow a little bit, but I think that'll be great. And it's looking fantastic. I love the fit so much. It's not oversized, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it a little bit more fitted. I think just with this style, it suits it a little bit more. I'm so excited with it. I'll angle you down so that you can see the cables a little bit more. So these are the cables here. It's bound off with an I-cord edging, which I think just gives it a really nice, neat, polished look. And these cables look so beautiful. It just adds that little bit of interest into a sweater without it just being plain stocking knit stitch. And these cables were so much fun. I really, really enjoyed them. After I got into the rhythm of them and I stopped making mistakes, super fun. I love down here where the cables like meld into the bottom cables. That just makes my heart happy. Very, very happy. So now I'm onto the sleeves and it is, it's like 11:30 now. So for the rest of the day, I'm just going to focus on sleeves. I should be able to get at least one done today, I'm hoping. If not, maybe two. We'll see how fast I knit. Got a bit more energy today, so I won't be at sloth speed knitting like I usually am when I'm tired. I mean, if I can get it finished tomorrow, then that's like a week, because I started last Saturday and it'll be finished tomorrow. So that's kind of incredible. But we'll see how much time that I get to do this. So I'm very excited for a day of knitting sleeves. So it is Saturday, which marks this is like 1 week. I started last Saturday, so this morning I finished my sleeve. We got up this morning at like 4:30 because hubby goes for a run with some of his mates in town, which is like about 30-ish minutes away. So he goes for a run on Saturday mornings with his mates, and they usually go at around 5 o'clock. So I was like, I'm going to join you. Well, not running. I'm going to join you going there, and I'm going to knit at the beach because that sounds really lovely. It's the middle of winter here, and I didn't think about how cold it was going to be to try and knit on the beach, but I did it anyways. We went down there and I brought all my gear down, and I wanted to see the sunrise, and it was so bitterly cold. My fingers were like frozen because I didn't wear any gloves because I didn't think about it. It doesn't usually get that cold here in winter, but I forgot mornings get like really chilly. But this morning I did finish my cuff. I wanted it a bit more cinched than what she said, so I decreased 4 extra stitches than what she recommends, and then I bound off and it was too tight. I could barely get it over my hand, so I did it again, and then I cast off, and then halfway through the cast off I ran out of wool on like because I'd cut it off from the previous bind off. I ran out of wool. I didn't even think about it. So then I had to undo that and then start again. And yeah, so in the end, I now have a cuff, but it took way, way longer than it should have. But the fit of the sleeve is really, really nice. And you've got, well, you can't really tell because I've got all these little decrease markers on here, but the cable runs all the way down here and meets in the armpit, which is just such a beautiful detail. I'll see if I can scooch up a bit closer and show you. So it kind of meets in the armpit here, which I think is just like, the attention to detail in this pattern is just outstanding. She just does such a good job, and it's just so well designed, and I love it. And I love the cables here. They're so soft and squishy, and it just fits well. It fits so good around the arms, like I'm not feeling restricted or anything. It's just beautiful and it fits so well. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm all done. I'm so excited. It is 7:30 at night on Saturday night, so I did get it done in a week, which is kind of amazing. I really wasn't expecting to get it done today, but here we are, and I am so stoked with the results. It fits so lovely. I kind of don't want to block it because it just fits so nice like this, but it is still rolling at the bottom here, and I think I need to grow the sleeves a little bit because, I mean, I'm not mad if they just sit right here, but if they grow a little bit, that would be nice, and just get down to wrist length. But the fit is so lovely. I can't get over the fit of the garment, and it's just so well constructed. The only thing that I can see is I did this cuff with the DPN needles and this cuff with the circular needles, and there is like a little bit of a difference in the size. This, like the one that I did the regular circle needles, is a little bit more stretched than this one, but I assume with blocking they might then match. Yeah, maybe because the circular needle, like the stitches were more stretched out on the circular needle, whereas the DPNs weren't. I'm not too sure, but yeah, hopefully blocking kind of fixes that because it's magical like that. And I'm really interested to see how the cables are going to block out as well, because it kind of comes in here, which I actually really like. So tomorrow I will be blocking. I still haven't woven in the ends, so I'm going to do that right now because otherwise I will just procrastinate weaving in the ends and probably not do them. So I'm going to do that right now, which hopefully won't take very long because there's not very many ends at all to weave in. And I still have like this much wool left over from what I just used, and I've got 2 entire balls left. So it really didn't take up much wool at all. In total, I used less than 4 balls for a whole sweater. That is insane. It is all done and I could not be happier with the result of this. I am actually recording this about 2+ months later, and so I've been able to try it out, give it a lot of wear over the last few months, and I can say that I love this. I love the yarn, I love the design, the comfort is amazing, and yeah, it's been definitely one that I've been reaching for a lot. Have I fixed the collar issue? No, I haven't. It's still really hard to get on and off over my head, but that's fine. It's 2 seconds taking it on and off, and I can deal with that. So looking at how much this sweater actually cost me, I only ended up using 4 balls in total, and so the grand total was $68, which I think for this sweater is absolutely amazing. And it took me 42 hours and 42 minutes to make, which I think is like pretty good for a whole sweater, so I wasn't mad about that, and got it done in a week, which was kind of crazy to me. But yeah, I was really happy with the overall results, been wearing it heaps, and it is now out and available. At the beginning of the week it was released, so definitely go get your hands on this pattern. It is so worth knitting. It's so comfy and easy to wear, and I love the fact that you can use pretty much any yarn you want as long as you hit gauge, so that's really handy, and it's like nice and customizable too. So 100% worth knitting. It's available now. I'll have the link in my description box below. Thank you so much for joining me on today's cozy vlog. If you're looking for some more knitting podcasts, inspiration or vlogs, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and join in on the family here at Lovely Day Knits. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.